Hey, everybody, welcome to What the Flicks Christmas Countdown. Christy Lemire, Alonzo Duralde. I'll be here every day till Christmas, counting down 25 of my favorite holiday movies, many of them featured in my book, Have Yourself a Movie Little Christmas.
Da, 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 da.
Now available from Amazon. Today we're talking about a favorite. It's even launched its own line of clothing.
Is there really more than just that sweater, though? Is there an entire line?
There's a whole house light kit you can buy, which... Well, we'll get into that.
That's
anyway,
sad.
Take a look. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
All Clark wants is a quiet, old-fashioned Christmas. Sorry.
Got a little knot here. You can work on that.
What he's going to get is the gift that keeps on living.
Merry Christmas.
His family.
We didn't come to impose.
Oh, hell, there's plenty of room.
Do you sleep with your brother? Do you know how sick and twisted that is, Mom? Well, I'm sleeping with your father.
Have you got a kiss for me?
You better take a rain check on that, Art. He's got lip fungus they ain't identified yet.
But no holiday could ever be more deeply touching.
We were gonna call, but Eddie wanted to make it a surprise.
If I woke up tomorrow with my head sewn to the carpet, I wouldn't be more surprised than I am right now.
Yeah, the idea that you can now brand Christmas lights for your house as Christmas Vacation lights, it's like, wait, but that's a joke in the movie that he goes far too far with it.
And the lights don't work, right?
Exactly.
So
And
is
it's
the point that you recreate it and your lights don't work either, and then you feel like kindred spirit with the, bumbling Clark?
When you open a box, there's a big knot come out,
Terrible.
So
Cynical.
I was just thinking now about how Bad Moms Christmas and Daddy's Home 2 really owe a lot to the Christmas Vacation template.
Okay, because it's wackiness and because the decorations don't work?
And the older generation.
Oh.
You have to bring in the parents of the parents to
Up the ante.
To up the ante, and also I think because for so many people, holiday stress is about their family, whether they don't get along with them or whether it's about the pressure to recreate these sort of perfect, idyllic childhood Christmases that made your own parents insane to create for you, and now you have to pick up that mantle. I think that the Griswolds don't always fit in other situations, but Christmas is the perfect setting because Clark is so obsessed with this notion of like this perfect, I saw it on a postcard, version of whether it's a family trip, whether it's a family vacation, or a family Christmas rather. He's exactly the kind of person who would, everything has to be like the magazine, basically.
Right, and the problem though is that with these movies, it's really diminishing returns. I mean, this movie's terrible in retrospect. No, it really is, because it's the same joke over and over again. It's just Chevy Chase injuring himself over and over again, and then maybe like a squirrel flies at somebody, But there's bodily injury, and it's shrill, and it's wacky, and I feel like it's the same movie over and over again. The first Vacation was funny, and an 80s raunchy kind of R-rated comedy classic. I mean, like when we were kids, at least I'll speak for myself, when I was a kid, Vacation seemed super racy and like naughty, and I felt kind of grown up for watching it. And then European Vacation it's got some quotable lines, You see
Kids, Big Band Parliament.
Right, you see Big Band Parliament, and you think of that. And with this one, it's the third one with the Griswolds having some kind of holiday or vacation or whatever. And John Hughes wrote it. We love John Hughes. This is our youth here, and I feel like he was just totally phoning it in at this point. And it's the same bit over and over again.
All right, I have to disagree.
Please do.
Well, first of all, unlike European Vacation, this one, like the first Vacation, was based on a story that Hughes wrote for the Lampoon. So, I mean, you could be argued that, yes, John Hughes was kind of phoning it in at this stage in his career, but it does at least have some source material from back when he was still an up-and-comer. I think the introduction of the new characters brings other colors to the paint box. Yes, a lot of it is Chevy Chase injuring himself. That is this series' bread and butter. But when you bring in the grandparents and the great-grandparents, I think that opens up the floodgates to other kinds of humor. Like, I think the whole thing about the cutting into the turkey gag, that's a priceless bit of physical comedy, partially because it's so absurd, but also because it's the most extreme version of a very recognizable phenomenon, which is like generations of Americans had no idea how to cook a turkey and not make it come out super dry.
Okay.
So the idea that it would come out as nothing but actual dust and gas escaping from the skin, I think the stuff with the yuppies next door is super dated because it's such a specific kind of
Very
yuppie.
80s. Very
But
big
it's-
hair and 80s.
Exactly, but it's Julia Louis-Dreyfus,
Right.
so that's kind of cool.
And an ignominious thing happens to her in
Yes.
this, with her big hair.
Right.
It's,
It's not.
when you're a kid, I guess it's funny. I guess when you're a kid, it's like it's comforting, right?
Yeah.
Like it's ritualistically comforting. It's a thing that you know that you've seen before. It doesn't make it good. It just means it's familiar and fine to have on in the background while you're wrapping presents or whatever.
I somehow missed this one, and I never saw it until I did the research for the book. And it's like
1989. So where were you? I was a senior in high school.
I had just out of college.
I'm sorry, I was a freshman in college. It was Christmas time.
Yeah.
It must have come out at Christmas time, right?
guess so, yeah.
I was a freshman in college. I was drunk at the same
We were
pie house.
we were both living in Dallas.
Right, we were. That's true. We could have been at like the same whatever the
the
mall,
Cine or
the
something,
mall
yeah.
multiplex, the 2-screen.
Yeah, so I didn't go because I think by that point I was sort of like, oh, again with the vacation movies, like let it go.
Exactly, let it go.
But I have to say, circling back and seeing it again years later, it's like, oh no, this actually has some stuff to it. And weirdly enough, I think this movie takes a moment to examine the Clark Griswold psyche. Like when he is stuck in the attic and he's watching those home movies and is weeping, that to me feels like this moment of like, okay, this guy really there's a reason that he fixates on this stuff, and there's a reason that he wants everything to be just so, and it's not just sort of a quirky character thing. It's that it's essential to who this guy is and what he wants. So
You're taking this very seriously.
I'm just saying it's in
Clark
there.
Griswold's psyche, and there is one.
It is woven in. They don't clobber you with it, but it gives it a little bit of an underpinning, I think. And I think that a lot of the slapsticky stuff does work. The running joke with the sap and the squirrel and the electrocuted cat and the even the Cousin Eddie stuff has a few moments where it doesn't feel like it's a sheer retread of the first movie.
But it's the same note.
Basically, yes.
Cousin Eddie is a one-note character.
Totally.
He's in his lane.
I certainly never saw his standalone sequel,
Oh, I don't think I realized that there was one until I was looking this up on IMDb the other day, and I'm like, oh, he got his own movie? Like, what was that about?
Direct to video.
Oh, okay. So we will not be doing that one.
No. But yeah, so I don't know. I think I wouldn't put this among the great Christmas comedies, but I get why people like it, and I get what the appeal is, and I think a lot of it is actually, it's pretty funny. And I would say if you're looking at the rotating cast of the Griswold children,
right, Juliette Lewis
and Johnny Galecki,
right,
it's a pretty solid, bench there.
No Jane Krakowski.
No Jane Krakowski.
She was too old by then to be Cousin Vicky, I guess.
Or Anthony Michael Hall. And then the grandparents, you've got like Doris Roberts and Diane Ladd and hang on. Let me look in this
actors.
super handy book that I happen to have
It's
right
got lots of
here.
information in it.
I know Mae Questel is the great grandmother, and she's a legend, of course.
I mean, maybe in its day.
Oh, yeah, William Hickey. Come on, William Hickey.
Come on. Maybe in its day this seemed kind of like raunchy and adorable, but in retrospect, all these years later, it looks super dated and super of its time, and it just feels really lazy and like strenuously wacky by comparison to the other two.
I think the late 80s and early 90s, that period has become a period for sure now as we look at it in retrospect. Here's a fun fact.
Fun fact.
The Griswold family house was the Danny Glover family house from Lethal Weapon.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
And we're going to also talk about in one of these episodes, Kiss Kiss,
Kiss,
Bang,
Bang, Bang. That's
written
right.
and directed by Shane Black, who wrote
Lethal Weapon,
right.
and a lot of other violent movies that have a lot of Christmas in them. But that's another story, which hopefully you'll be back for. If Christy hasn't turned you off by being so mean about National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
I'm so heartless and cruel.
I like the little sort of continuity shout-outs, like the fact that the eggnog mugs are the Wally World moose.
Oh.
Just
pick up on that.
it's stupid, but it's I get it. I get the appeal.
If you are wrapping presents or you're decorating your own house and you just need like some festive holiday din in the background, I suppose this is harmless.
So it's a good movie to half watch.
It's a good movie to like just have on while you're doing dishes, and you can peek in and go, yeah, there's Chevy Chase falling and hurting himself again. Reader, not missing out on too much.
Anyway, you'll have ample opportunities to see this one. Because not only does this turn up a lot on TV and stuff, but I think if you live in a city where anybody's doing any kind of repertory screening, this has made the short list. Like, everybody shows this, everybody shows Elf and It's a Wonderful Life, and like there's a handful of movies that they're sort of guaranteed crowd pleasers.
Well, this is a super R, though. Isn't it R-rated?
I think this was,
Is it PG-13? I feel like aren't they all R?
The first,
it's grown up.
Yeah.
It's not for little kids.
It's
There's stuff involving boobs.
Well, yeah, but little kids now, they got the internet. It's PG-13.
Okay, all right.
They got the internet. They've seen everything. It's too late. They're all lost. Your child is looking at things right now. You don't even know about it.
That's actually very true. Minecraft videos.
All right. Well, listen, thank you guys for watching. We're here every day till Christmas talking about Christmas movies. Come back and see us. Happy holidays.
Bye.